Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be analyzing GodLike's victory over Wolves on Takeoff Hardpoint. Now I saw iHoldShift has been doing breakdown videos like these and the community has loved that kind of style of content. So I thought I would go ahead and do my own on a map that Shift hasn't yet covered, just to provide a different perspective and from a professional player's point of view, understanding of the game looking back at it. So hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, make sure you let me know in the comments what series you'd like me to break down next and we can continue it. If not, then I will stop this kind of content and I'll leave that to Shift. Now let's hop into it. All right, so the initial setup from both teams, pretty different strategies in terms of how they're approaching the map. As you can see, GodLike is more traditional in their way of setting up. And what I mean by that is they like to have each lane controlled. They have number 3 watching blue. They got number 2 on the hill right away, as he should be. Number 4 is helping support him over on ticket. Number 5 is actually watching ticket. And if somebody hops off the top yellow here, number 5 could actually beam him. It's Neutrino. He has an AR. So a great setup on initial. And number 1 learn, just overlooking the whole setup. On the flip side, we have Wolves who seem to take a more double stairs heavy approach, which is pretty unique. We've not really seen that before too much. I haven't personally seen that before. Traditionally, teams send more guys on blue off initial rather than double stairs. So this is definitely a unique approach. And then, of course, they have Peg, number 1, about to push from the top to kind of looks like they're trying to pinch the hill. We had Learn on the top position, Takeoff, Peg, which was top yellow, P2 in other words. And Abiz cut off this guy coming under yellow. So very, very strong setup off the initial. That's 2 big kills out of GodLike. And it helped them really get some map control here. And because of the smoke that was thrown in the beginning, Zai did manage to kind of finesse his life through it and manage to stay alive. So they ended up getting control of the hill, which is actually pretty surprising given the start of it. But yeah, pretty scrappy. GodLike still has control of blue over here. And another interesting thing I'm noticing, Wolves is sending more guys over P2. It's like they're leaving Catwalk alone. And I'm not going to lie, this can probably be an issue. It might bite them in the butt later because Catwalk is really essential to control P1. And right here, X-King has got a huge position. He's basically cutting off the spawn points. He knows his teammates are spawning out yellow because number 1 and 4 just came from there. And the only possible place that they could spawn would be guarded. So he's cutting off this huge bottom red push. So basically giving his team a lot more map control. And look, number 3, number 1, they automatically took a look at ticket. So they're aware of what's open on the map and they're picking it up. This is really important, really huge. GodLike is doing a reset as well. They have guys sent over Catwalk. They were trying to send guys over ticket / P2 and an under red push. So just going back to the default of the original push, but Wolves just winning those essential gunfights and pretty much reading them off the rip here. Given the time that's left is being 13 seconds, GodLike needs to start thinking about new. But now it's like you must rotate, you must get set up, you must have that control of stadium. But what do you know? Yeah, Wolves already set up. Not only guys having inner stadium control of white and ticket / medical area, but you got 2 guys playing scraps over here. So this is the ideal setup for Wolves. They are in an advantageous position. The number 4 is making space. King gets that kill because this is what most teams like to do. Most teams, they like to control over ticket side / medical because whenever you have a setup from this side of the map instead of white, you have more areas to control the hill and actually get more time because you have an AR playing this medical window, watching the hill, watching ATM, can wall bang the hill, can even kill the guy who's trying to flank from inner stadium. And you can have a guy playing the corner of this hill while another AR is watching over him. You can have people flanking. You can have people pinching on inner stadium. It's just a lot more areas of controlling the actual hill. Versus if you're spawning white, you only really have one funnel way, which is this doorway right here. And that can be really dangerous because if somebody pushes up over here and is basically on the head glitch stairs to spawn trap, it's a hard one to kill and a hard spawn trap to get out of. So let's just see how this plays out now. So really, really big double out of King. Right now, it's all wolves in the kill feed. This is huge. Not only that, but here you have the Predator being called, Zai getting the info that they're spawning on Catwalk. So now all that they need to do is literally get control of this hill and just put their eyes on P1 area. Like, that's literally it. And Zai being so pesky, this spawn point from number 1 gives away that Godlike is still spawning over on Catwalk. So they should have a very clear read right here. I really like the setup. They have a guy medical. They had X-King here, but unfortunately he lost the gunfight. But basically they had every lane controlled, and that's what you want. Perfect setup. Peg somehow kills himself. That was really unfortunate. That might have cost him a little bit of time right there, but let's see. So a big stack over on Wolves. That's some good OBJ time that they just soaked up. And Godlike does manage to make a break. A beautiful pinch. Let's back that up and see what happened. So the guy spawned over Catwalk. Abiz won a huge 2 kills. Neutrino, Trunks, huge kills right here. And because they were winning those key gunfights, basically they managed to get the pinch. The guys who spawned Catwalk came over, pinched over on Ticket. Now number 3, Trunks, made the pinch over White. So now Godlike should hold the rest of the scrap time. And look, because Godlike does something really, really good on every hardpoint. They are so good at rotating and setting up early. That is one of their biggest strong points, along with their operator usage. You're gonna see on this map and other hardpoints that you watch, their operator usage is so valuable at the most important times. So let's pay attention to that trend, and I'll point it out as each hill comes, the different rotations and setup that they have. So here's just some scrap time. Wolves is making a little mistake here. Yes, they do need to contest this time, sure, but they need to start thinking about new so they can get rotations and a setup done. They did not really consider that, and as a result, now they're one step up behind, and now they have to break Godlike setup. So this isn't the most ideal situation, but it's what they're working with now, and this is one of the things that is going to hurt Wolves down the road. Right here, though, you have Neon, you have King. They have a dual setup, and they did manage to get those huge kills, essentially breaking the setup and getting spawns. But from the old hill, remember, we still have Learn and a Bees. So if Wolves is paying attention, they have to also look behind them. Otherwise, they could lose this whole setup that they just worked for. It looks like Learn is about to get a free kill along with Abiz. Oh, good read. So they did end up reading it. I think the comms from Peg, he ended up getting information, and they had Kings turn around and get the kill. Peg got the one on blue, like Learn on blue. Those were massive kills. So right now, Wolves is in a position to really pretty much get a full 60. They have operators. They have King with the Sparrow, Peg, X-Kick, however you say that name. 3 operators in play. Godlike only has 1. They have spawns. They have hill. Like, everything is in their favor right now. So what they need to do is send a guy top red, get somebody on the OBJ itself, and have this guy catwalk. Preferably be King or Neon, somebody with an AR, so they can watch over middle, so they do not get flipped. Right now, it doesn't seem like they have that real eye on middle. And that could cost them right here. Because look, you see number 4 already working. P1, Abiz, okay, Peg got the gunfight. He did make the read, but now look, because they had little pressure on this catwalk area, Godlike might actually flip this. And they're really working that flip. Yep, Learn gets 1. Learn gets 2. He does get taken out. So they did manage to save face here, but that was very close. And I think now they started to learn from that mistake because they had more people sent out mid. They're starting to understand their strategy. Because of the great gunfights that they're winning, they're really taking the lead on this hill. And like, if you're Godlike, what you got to do now is just scrap this last 20 seconds, let Wolves have it, and fully set up onto blue. Because this hill is a total money hill. If you can get control of it, you will full 60. As long as you have a proper setup and trade system going on. So that's what Godlike needs to do to get back in the game right here. Wolves in a huge position. Great. So they got the picks on old, and Now they just gotta get out. Like, those are really, really big kills and a little momentum shifter over for Godlike. Trunks getting that double, Abi's getting the double beforehand. They got the rotation. This is a huge momentum shifting moment in the game right here. Because now Godlike has rotation. They have operators pulled. Learn has got his vortex trying to cut off the entrances on both paths, and he gets a huge double. Prevail gets another, cutting off the white spawn point. Right here, they're in a golden setup. The only thing they have to worry about is number 4, because King got blessed with a spawn point due to Godlike being pushed up so much. Nobody was actually anchoring this catwalk spawn point. They had most people over on this side, both guys watching the spawns. Prevail pushed up to white. All combination of these 3 people on the map made King spawn out, because now the system reads that spawn point over here on catwalk as safe. Because number 3 Trunks, Abiz, and Prevail were looking at the white area, that now puts it in the system that this spawn point is a dangerous spawn point for Wolves member to spawn in. And no eyes are over on catwalk, so it's safe in the system. And so that's why King spawns here. So this is a big opportunity for Wolves now to make a play with that spawn point. Let's see how things unfold. Because Trunks died, now they got spawns anchored once again. The entrance is very obvious. There's only one way to enter in this hill. This is why it's so broken to have this side of the spawns. You want to get catwalk spawn. This is how you full 60 this hill in particular, because you have an AR middle being pesky, cutting off those guys pushing in from white. And let's say the Wolves do manage to actually push through the doorway. Now they're faced with 1, 2, 3 individuals looking at one doorway with operators. Yeah, good luck breaking that. And right now they are just having the first and the most of it. And this hill, because of Godlike's insanely good operator usages, getting each member getting like really big value, they are back in this game from this hill. Just like that, what seemed to be Wolves' massive lead is being vanished in a matter of just one hill. And Godlike is going to take the lead here. So King's got a triple, right? But look at the spawn point. They're just right back in it. That's how good these spawns on catwalk are. And Abiz, man. Abiz was such an all-star all weekend. Honestly, that guy is cracked. They've been putting in some work. And I just want to go ahead and give my respects over to Godlike. They went from the worst team to one of the best. And honestly, it made me proud to see how far they come. Now, back to P1, you're going to notice Wolves has a similar strategy to the first P1, where they have more guys sent over on middle control rather than catwalk. This is, again, going to kind of bite them in the butt, because Godlike, even though they're spawning on white side now, they still have a similar structure where they have catwalk controlled, they have a guy P2, and then they have guys middle. So they have every lane controlled. And because Wolves does not take that same approach, they're going to end up getting pinched and dying a lot where they didn't really need to die from. So let's let this play and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. Boom, Trunks, Abiz, the pinch is happening. Godlike has the hill control. They have every lane controlled. Now, beautiful reads out of Godlike Abiz here. Look what he just did. I don't know if you caught that. I'm going to back it up real quick. So right now, Wolves is spawning over on Garden, right? Prevail dies. He spawns Garden. He reads that on the map. Prevail probably called out his spawn point. And right away, instant reaction. Abiz learns that, reads it, and makes a play so he's covered over on this bottom red side. He's not exposing his butt to the guys spawning on white. Big play right here. It's something small, but when you are playing OBJ, you need to be quick with reading these plays and these spawns, because otherwise you'll just die unnecessarily. But Kings now makes an adjustment, gets Neutrino off top blue, and now they're getting more position. I think they're starting to understand how Godlike is playing the hill more, and they make those little adjustments. That's the one thing with these Chinese teams. They're very quick at adapting, so that is part of what makes them so strong. Now again, that 15-second mark is hit. You see Wolves members already making their way P2. This time though, Godlike members are also doing it early, but they still are working that P2 control. They are trying to anchor over a catwalk. This is really huge. And Prevail with another big one. Really huge double piece out of Trunks. And what Neutrino is going to do right now is game changing right here. He calls his War Machine. He's on this head glitch that I was talking about earlier, the stadium head glitch, to cut off the white spawns because they know, Godlike knows that wolves are spawning over on white. So he calls the War Machine, pushes it up, and he's just going to wreak havoc in their spawn with this War Machine. Huge triple. And now wolves, they literally just have to wait. Like, they can't really push this because you have a beast from the top and Neutrino just showering explosives on the entrance. What are you gonna do? A trophy is not gonna protect you from both explosives. It's just beautiful plays. I love the repositioning out of Neutrino here to fire those War Machine shots. It bought a beast more time to shoot the Sparrow, and then he repositions back, gets on the head glitch after he runs out of his War Machine, and is just continuing the spawn trap. And here, now they're getting their streaks up, and that's going to play a big role for later hills. So Neon calls his, gets some decent value, clears out Neutrino, which is important, but it's not really translating into proper time because of the pressure that Godlike has been putting. So as you can tell, because I pushed up and nobody on Wolves was holding white, it left this white spawn safe for the Godlike to spawn in. And now because Wolves has lost track of spawns like that, this is a crazy good opportunity for Godlike to pinch because they have guys on white, they have Ticket, and they have this number 4 guy, a Bees, who can make a pinch over top yellow. So this is gonna be very massive. And just like that, they got control of the hill. They got 3 bodies on the hill. They are pushing up, getting aggressive. They have another operator. This is beautiful. Beautiful plays out of Godlike. And honestly, just some misplays out of Wolves. And look at that. Talking about that rotation, you see number 4 at Bees already rotated, wins a big one. And look at the trends again. Godlike is just out-rotating them every single time. And you've seen this in the series with LG as well on Hacienda. They just constantly out-rotating them every time. It's a work of art, really. So here you go. Wolves now making a play. They, despite Wolves not getting control of the spawns early and rotating, they do manage to get the kills surprisingly. It's also another form of art out of Wolves. But because Godlike's been here before and done that, they have their way. They love to push that middle pinch. 2 middle, 2 coming from the lounge, and getting the pinch on top. This is their favorite play, Godlike's. And they did this the last hill. They're doing it again this hill. And it's going to be successful. Because now Wolves has to worry about the front. They have to worry about top red. They have to worry about the guys coming from middle. And the spawns are going to flip. And just like that, because number 5 is still alive, Neon, it spawns out Learn over on the edge of the catwalk. So now Learn, if he understands the spawn point, he's got to know that somebody from Wolves is still over here. This is a clear split spawn giveaway right there. Because if they had full catwalk control and no Wolves members were alive, then Learn would have spawned in this corner right here. And I think he realizes that. And yeah, they fish him out. Look at that. Beautiful teamwork. Wolves now is taking a similar approach like Godlike, where they push through middle. Zai remains alive, really making a little mess in the spawn point, but they get fished out again. And now 25 seconds is left, and you're gonna see Godlike start to rotate here. Look at that. Neutrino already knew. Prevail cutting off P1. They are stacking catwalk, so they still have that, and they have people playing OBJ, getting massive kills. This is textbook Call of Duty right here. Beautiful. Seriously beautiful. And Peg tries to rotate, gets a massive double, but Neutrino again. This is what I'm talking about with the operator pulls out of Godlike. They love to pull it at crucial moments in rotation or on the hill where they're clearing everybody off from Wolves, whether it's on the hill or on the rotation. It's really good. And Neutrino does that here, gets a big double. One thing I want to point out, he's got this perk which is going to recharge operator faster, and Demo Expert, which is going to make his explosive War Machine shots, I think it's 20% stronger. So a beautiful combination of the two, which also helps make his War Machine so effective. Godlike still making plays, and this is partly what makes Trunks so good too. He is so aggressive and makes so much space for his team, getting really massive kills that like Wolves just don't expect it. They do not expect his aggression. He somehow finds a crack in their setup and he pushes through it to clear out Wolves members. He does that with every team over the champs weekend. That's a really highlight player that you want to keep your eyes on. Trunks is making massive plays. Honestly, everybody is, but I would say the two standouts were Trunks and Neutrino, in my opinion. But obviously, it's a team sport, and everybody really did an amazing job from Abuse, Prevail, and Learn. Now, despite Godlike being spawning out, they are going to manage to get a flood. And, man, I'm telling you, the operators, that's the key distinction. Their operator usage. They did not have any business winning this hill right here, getting it and breaking it. But because of the operator usage and the effectiveness, they managed to get the break. And now Wolves is in a bad position because despite white spawn being bad, if you can get pushed up into these power positions on top blue to watch Cubby, having eyes on white and having a guy being annoying in the middle to cut them off, like from this side, which is what number 3 Trunks is going to do, it's really annoying for any team to deal with. And in this case, Wolves. And they got 4 eyes watching pretty much one doorway once again. So Wolves are just getting fried. And now the split spawn happens. So the pinch is kind of collapsing on Godlike members. And the reason that pinch happened is because, let's back it up. Right here when they broke, you see Trunks pushed up P1. And now white is totally free. Because there's more pressure and eyes on this little catwalk area from Trunks to the different members of Prevail, Neutrino, Beast, like this little spawn point is going to be more threatened according to the system. Because when you look at the spawn points or then the direction of the spawn, in the system, it makes it as if it's like a threat, the other team to spawn there. So it'll spawn them in a place where there's no threat or the least amount of threat, which in this case would be white. And because of that split spawn scenario, I don't think Godlike read it in time and they died. So they were definitely getting collapsed on and sandwiched, which allowed Wolves to stay alive, get a little bit more points, extend their lifeline a little bit longer. And now the P1 rotation occurs once again. So at this point, between the P4 to P1 transition, the main thing you want to do is continue to hold blue. So you can hold catwalk after and control that, because this catwalk, like we talked about, is going to be huge for P1. And what do you know? Once again, Godlike has their same setup. They have catwalk control, guys P2. They have Learn watching over everybody. And now the only thing that's missing is Trunks or another SMG to play the hill, which he's probably going to go to do right now. It's a big flank. Huge double. And just like that, they've got time. Just like that. And now look, Godlike realizes that Wolves is spawning out doubles in the white side. So look what they're going to do next. So they get those kills, right? Trunks gets another kill on the hill. They read Wolves' setup because they have not adapted, like for this hill most of the time. They had like 1 adaptation or 2 adaptations, but they keep doing the same thing over and over. And Godlike reads it by now. It's getting old. And so they make the reads, they get the kills, they get the kill. And now look, because of that wipe they just got, and because they have the information that Wolves is spawning white, they're going to push up on this double stairs and start spawn trapping Wolves. Trunks gets another. And just like that, the spawn trap begins. Beautiful, beautiful place. Insane. Trunks at 45, man. Look at the space that the SMGs are creating. Very aggressive. Another Predator missile to get more P1 time. And now Wolves is starting to learn. I think they're just doing this honestly because they're spawning there, and so it's most convenient. But look, they got catwalk, they're getting a P2 ticket side, and then hill. So this is more like it. But honestly, I think it's just because the convenience of the spawn points, not because they actually want to do that. And just look, just because they had a proper setup, they won the gunfights. Because they're able to watch over and help each other and get the pinch. And that's what you want to do on this hill. Okay, so now P2 rotation is happening. Godlike is in the favorable position because they have way more bodies stacked over stadium. And Wolves overcommitted, in my opinion, over on P1. They didn't rotate early enough. The first 2 hills, they rotated better, but this hill in particular, they did not. And now when you have a setup like this for Godlike, this is what I call the golden setup. Because you have white controlled and anchored. You have guy on hill. May I say 2 guys. 1 ARing on the window to kill the guys off spawn. Because you can literally see people spawn from this window. It's kind of broken. Another guy top yellow on the hill watching top yellow. Another guy watching ticket. And another guy anchoring medical. So basically, all eyes are on this one spawn point. Wolves is going to get effed. The only way they can really escape this is if they utilize their smokes and work together to kill these guys one by one. Otherwise, they're just going to get absolutely demolished. Oh my gosh. I did not expect that to happen. This spawn point. But you know what? Okay, you know what it was? This is the mistake right here. This is the mistake. The only reason why Wolves members spawn back here despite Learn anchoring is because a bees literally jumped out of yellow and has a direct viewpoint of the spawns. And Neutrino, if we back it up here, he was also looking at this catwalk spawn. So the combination of a bees and Neutrino looking there made this spawn point obsolete for the system. They're like, look, they got 2 members directly looking at spawns. We cannot spawn anybody from Wolves here anymore. This was a mistake out of Godlike. And so they got 3-man spawning behind Learn, which is going to really like throw them off. They're not going to expect this. And so just like that, the spawns flip. Good thing out of Godlike, they still have control of the hill. They've managed to stay composed under that situation and maintain control, but that was their mistake there. And so now it's just a battle of the front, you know, who's going to win these gunfights, who's going to pinch better. Oh, big kill out of Zai. Big operator usage out of Peg as well. Big kills right here. That's how easily a perfect golden setup can be messed up if a mistake like that is made. That's why you have to all be on the same page of what you need to do to maintain that kind of setup. And looking back at this now, they'll probably learn from it and be like, okay, let's not do that again. So now Wolves in a similar golden setup position. The only downside is they're not really pushing out and like overwhelming the spawn like Godlike was. And because of that, they're giving Godlike so much space to just work up this whole like setup that they've got going on. They got too much bodies on this hill right now. They need to kind of like slightly get more map control, you know? Because if I were to guess right here, Godlike is probably gonna break this. 2 kills, make that 3. Yeah, just like that, it's broken. So that's the problem with because they were thinking the time is so close, they need to all stack. They got scared and stopped going for map control, and in that situation, they needed to, because they got broken in a matter of seconds when they didn't really have to get broken. And the trend continues. Godlike is over set up new, and at this point, for Wolves to stay alive, they have to honestly just play perfectly, win those gunfights, get the spawn trap going, yada yada yada. But as you can tell, Godlike this time, what do you know? Operator usage, once again, huge value. They pulled them out while Wolves was rotating, because obviously they know Wolves is going to come from middle and blue. And just like that, they got the important kills necessary. And at this point, it's over. It's over. Huge plays. I love Learn's reaction right here. Look at his face. That's a face of a champion right there. Huge plays out of Godlike. Beautiful rotations, beautiful operator pulls, and beautiful teamwork. Hats off. That was a great takeoff. Yeah, that's the breakdown. If y'all like this kind of style of videos, let me know. I can do more. Check out my Call of Duty Mobile University. It teaches everything you need to know from the mentality of a professional, from how to train like a professional in the mechanical side of things with your aim and movement, how to understand the game on a deeper level so that you can essentially be a mastermind on the map and make the right plays with your team. And I have a way that shows you step by step and the video sequences how to go pro. This year's esports roadmap is expected to be pretty fruitful and pretty amazing. So if you aren't already, sign up right now, get a hold of that. We're growing in that community base, and all the information is at mju.com, so check it out.